Change narratives have always been critical to transformations in any organization. We think it's ever more important in a world of volatility. Second, we think
something is coming.
To change the narrative in so many ways and to quickly change it. We've had so many great speakers today. We have so many more to come, so we're going to have to wrap it up there. But I really, really want to thank you for taking the time, Harry. I'm looking forward to...
And that's how we discovered
the new poor.
Whoa.
You're biased. And, well, hey, whoa. Well, but here's the thing.
And we'll be right back.
This transition could be extremely uneven, extremely volatile.
Does it bother you at all, the automatic way that people accept the fact that this must be...
You can feel it, can't you?
Chinese environment, you know? So...
It's just like before. Same thing. I wasn't important.
He's extremely interested in notions of feedback and nonlinearity.
I think it'll be very, very exciting.
Now you're a neural net, or now you're an information system.
This is part of algorithmic thinking.
That's a really good argument. That's brilliant.
And, the circles widened.
With lots of winners and losers, and actually enter a period of the world where there's massive social friction within countries and across countries.
That's where we highlighted that this is just the main issue will probably be about the workforce and the impact on employment and on communities, which are disproportionately affected.
Hey, we're just about out of time.
The debate is no longer whether, but how. It's because the debate has moved on and because tangible progress is now expected at a country and company level that net zero is now an organizing principle for government and business around the world.
For the average consumer.
What is populism? Well, it is, these are movements that claim to be representing the common man, the common person. They are often, if not always, anti-elite and anti-party in many cases.
How did we get here?
That thinking it pays off in so many other areas.
Which are disproportionately affected or driven by the enclave nature of resource extraction, which tends to be very concentrated. So that would be a big challenge.
Could it be hyper-volatile as this kind of, as you went to the end game of hydrocarbons, what's going to happen? You could see very low prices, could see very high prices, could see super volatility. So I think we're entering a period of massive uncertainty.
Methane. Zimov explained that even during Chersky's frigid winters, temperatures under the lake's surface remain above freezing. Unfrozen water allows microbes to keep digesting organic matter long after the surrounding landscape is covered in snow. Water also has a powerful erosion effect.
Holy moly!
The bank is slowly thawing and collapsing, taking with it fresh pieces of permafrost into the lake, Zimov said. More fuel for the release of methane. As Walter Anthony, who is now a professor at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, put it to me, once permafrost thaws to the point where it creates depressions filled with water, the thaw starts to go deep and fast and expands laterally. You can't really stop it.
That's what made it so dangerous.
What you really would like to know is what is the insurance policy that you could buy today to offset the risk that it will not be what you think it is in the future.
And it gets back to a lot of first principle things.
With our economic inequalities that we have today.
Oh, shucks, fellows. 'Twa'n't nothing.
That is insane.
You have a serious problem. So your life becomes the life of the guy dealing with
4 seconds, 0 to 60.
Layers upon layers of more and more convoluted.
They made their choice.
Now they gotta live with it. That's what we're bringing to market, and we hope that people love it. And some people won't, and that's fine.
What seemed absolutely absurd.
Right.
It was an insane claim, but it's all
The various scenarios that might come to pass and trying to avoid the worst outcomes.
You hearing these crazy rumors about weird experiments?
Chris, just do it again. Oh my word!
The planet is pushing back, of course, against a certain kind of growth.
Nobody knows how this is going to turn out. This is an experiment.
And I think if you keep testing, you might find something very interesting about this planet.
A couple of people have commented that we don't yet have a too little, too late scenario. Are there plans to develop one of those scenarios?
Oh dear, I'll put that on the to-do list.
I feel electric.
So that, in the years to come, it will become clear that we as central banks and supervisors have done what we can, as many other stakeholders around the world will do from their perspective and their responsibilities.
Now, you could argue whether the developing world really is that much better off because inequality has grown in most of the developing world now.
I think our social contract is broken, and that is at the heart of why our politics is so divided, and so many citizens around the world are disappointed and frustrated.
Perhaps it is, but it develops new capacities.
Design, intent, and stuff that we can build at volume.
J.Z. Young, an Oxford biologist in Doubt and Uncertainty in Science, said we create tools and then we mold ourselves through our use of them.
Around the planet.
We've never seen anything like this. This is completely and totally out of the norm of anything that we've ever seen.
You hear that?
Technology.
And it's one of our top priorities.
He's more than just a car to me.
I think that what is essential for this problem is a global consciousness, a view that transcends our exclusive identifications with the generational and political groupings into which by accident we have been born.
True enough.
And since when is the world ever what it's supposed to be?
Interesting.
What the hell are you doing? This is part of algorithmic thinking.
With a spirit of bold curiosity for the adventure ahead.
Well, in addition to their content, I found their tone to be striking. They're both so passionate and bold in their view that the social contract is broken. And Andrew Sheng takes the notion of the social contract even further to include our contract with the planet.
I feel electric.
Technology has outdone nature, and the consequences are going to be with us forever.
Quite simply, they just want to change the world, that's all.
It was bad.
I know.
But there was an expectation that things were going to get better. There isn't today. James Madison, the main framer, said the major concern of the society has to be to protect the minority of the opulent against the majority.
You don't understand them.
You opened by talking about the American dream. Part of the American dream is class mobility. You're born poor, you work hard, you get rich. It's all collapsed.
It's politics. The big political parties blame each other for everything. And we, the ordinary people, suffer as a result. They fight each other, they organize big demonstrations, provoke violence, and we are caught in the middle. But they have the power, and they do whatever they want.
Our travels are coming to an end.
They concluded the oceans are warming at a rate 40% higher than they had thought, compared to estimates 5 years ago. So these are all wake-up signs that we have to take seriously, that something must be done. And when I look at my students and the new generation, they get it.
So, wake up. We're going the opposite way, so I think there's plenty of opportunity for us.
What did he say? There is no mission.
Right now. But recent climate calculations are based on computer models with incomplete information.
What is it? Unfortunately, a lot of these Earth system models that contribute to such goals do not take into account CO2 and methane emissions from permafrost.
It just gets attention because of what it is.
Amazed and shocked when they see it.
Creating a classic positive feedback loop.
Print media had made what Benedict Anderson calls imagined communities possible.
Maybe the internet in your pocket makes a fragmented global virtual community possible.
To be able to get some live data and see how they perform under stress.
Designed around...
What's the mission?
The one who asks himself if they're
the new poor.
I never thought of that. You're absolutely right.
The stability is great.
Is like something like collective dreams, really.
The cause of this disruption? Protesters blockading part of the Ambassador Bridge, a vital link carrying 27% of all trade between the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, I can understand people fighting for certain rights, but the way they're going about it, doing this is not going to solve anything.
There is no such thing as a perfect wave in the ocean. In nature, a wave is this kind of complex, violent event.
Surrender to the present moment. What's coming now is all that's left.
Are you ever going to stop being a glasses half empty person?
I don't think about it a lot. I leave that up to...
And I have also felt that in recent years especially, although it's always been an undercurrent,
portions of our electorate are pushing back against globalization, the results of which were not clear during the 90s, right? It was an early stage of this new world economy. For some groups, the results are in now, and there's pushback going on.
this system has to change.
There has to be an answer someplace.
There is, but you won't find it in jail.
This is completely and totally out of the norm of anything that we've ever seen.
In Los Angeles, ideas are big business. For some, the stranger, the better.
As we look back in history, Los Angeles, I believe, has so much to teach, but we always have so much to learn. Let us learn the lessons. Let us rehumanize each other. Let's find the common humanity between each other at this moment. It is the only thing that will get us to justice. It is the only way we can protect liberty, and it is the only way that we can save lives.
Has to grow exponentially.
Jonathan, was it you mentioned that that was covered in the report? The opportunity for better governance is one of the opportunities that's been cited.
I think that the transition it's unlikely to essentially happen without some transformation of governance at a regional, potentially global level around the flows of capital.
Francois, you said that it is time to roll up our sleeves. You were the first that said NGFS Season 2. And then Morgan, of course, then made it even better, and he said today is the grand finale of Season 1.
I think when we look at the scale, what you brought forward is the immense scale and challenge we are all facing. Just in terms of the numbers you're throwing out, $275 trillion, 8.8% of GDP.
Notably about intergenerational fairness, this issue of how we are treating our society, what needs to be considered in terms of long-term economic and social societal costs and benefits.
Our old model was premised on those kind of assumptions, which are no longer relevant to our societies.
And the reason I think it's broken is two big drivers. One, the changing role of women, and the changing role of technology.
I'm sorry if this one got a little depressing by the end, but what can I say? That's kind of just the reality of the moment. What are we going to do?
The process has begun.